Well, today we're going to be breaking the law and talking about something that's not PS Vita related. Well, kinda, sorta, not really, it is, but well, you'll see what I mean. Worst intro ever! Greetings, fellow Vita fans. This is James with PS Vita at 2 a.m. coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about the PS2, but on Vita. I guess that's only semi-heresy, right? So the following list I am about to present are my favorite PS Vita games that were based off, or ported in this case, from the PS2 version. It doesn't have to be a PS2 exclusive, but a game that just was on the PS2, but now it's on Vita. It's as simple as that. Or maybe it's not as simple as that, and this video is a complete lie. And on that note, I would love to hear what PS2 games do you love playing on the Vita? Please let me know all about it. And before I make my brain hurt anymore, here's the first game I'm choosing. And what a big one we're starting off with here, Final Fantasy X/10-2. Now already we're starting off here with something that's quite confusing. You see, here in North America, these games were bundled together. Final Fantasy X was on a regular cartridge, and Final Fantasy X-2 was a download code. And trust me, it's a situation that we PS Vita collectors hate to find ourselves in. So I guess I have to include this pick as two games? I don't know. Even though personally, and this is a hot take here, I kinda preferred Final Fantasy X-2 over the original 10. I just enjoyed the gameplay, I enjoyed playing dress up with the characters, that sounded kinda creepy, but most of all here, I just enjoyed how much more the story was so non-linear compared to the original. Even though X-2's story was kind of compared to it. I just love having that freedom of being able to go to multiple areas, even if it wasn't specifically the place I was supposed to go. I'm a nightmare to go on a road trip with, by the way, you probably figured that out. Oh, and for the individuals who were disappointed that X-2 was a download code only here in North America, you'd be happy to know that an Asian English physical version does exist of this game, so there's always that. Next up here is Oden's Fear Lefrithsar. I have no idea. I think it's French, maybe German, or maybe it's not even a word, but it is in fact the next game on my list. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Now, what always makes this game so unique in my eyes is that you play a post-apocalyptic game that's set in a more fairy tale kind of land. And you will play as one of 5 characters whose plots intertwine with each other, centering on unique protagonists and their struggle to, well, save the world. And I think the number one thing that's going to stand out, especially for no one who has actually seen this game, is just the graphics. They're beautifully hand-drawn, and from what I've heard, this remastered version has completely redrawn graphics and redesigned gameplay. And the gameplay is in fact a hack and slash adventure game with larger than life bosses and very unique character design and personalities. And the music I simultaneously love, yet don't really remember much about it after I'm finished playing the game, except for the opening intro. I guess that means I find it mediocre, but in an epic sort of way. Yeah, I don't get it either, but either way, you should get this game. Unintentional segue, but I like it. I just love throwing curveballs into my video lists, and this one is probably the most curviest ball that's ever been curvied. That sounds creepy too. Anyway, Bard's Tale Re-Snorkeled and Remastered, or however in the heck you say this game's title, is number 3 on this list. But it's not really number 3 because I'm going in no particular order, so you know, not number 3. Think what would happen here if you were playing the likes of Diablo, but it was completely 100% a comedy road trip. Yeah, that's pretty much what this game is. And it's funny because I remember back when this game was released around like 2004 or so, somewhere around that time frame, I was really tired of these over-the-head hack and slash adventure games. There was just so many flooding the market at the time, and while yes, we do still see them to this day, it's not quite as prevalent, but I noticed that back then I was just kind of tired of the genre, so I never played the original PS2 version. I know, I can't believe those words came out of my mouth either, but once I got a hold of it on the Vita, I just couldn't put it down. If you like the gameplay of Diablo, it's got it in spades. If you like comedy in your games, it's definitely on point. And if you like booze and beer and babes, then well, it has that too. No root beer though, so 0 out of 10 for that. Well, it looks like we're finding ourselves in yet another pickle here, due to the fact that I am choosing the Sly Collection as the next entry on this list. And yeah, this game actually has 3 in 1, because it's an HD collection. But much like with the case with Final Fantasy, it only has 2 of the games on the cartridge, and the third one is a downloadable code. Seriously, as a PS Vita collector, do I even honestly have to tell you how this makes me feel? Now, if I was to pick my favorite out of these 3, it would definitely go to Sly 2. You see, overall, Overall, the Sly Cooper series is a stealth game, much in the vein of Metal Gear Solid. Sort of, just with more anthropomorphic animals, if that makes sense. Including some that make me feel kinda funny and thus question my sexuality. And the first Sly game, as epic as it was, it felt like you were a bit more on the rails, a lot more linear than the future games were. And I felt that Sly 2, in particular, built perfectly on that premise. Took everything that worked right with the original game, but made it more open world. Not to mention, it gave you a lot more playable characters and gave some of the more side ones more things to do. Now with Sly 3, it was great, but it felt like it was just Sly 2 plus some extra stuff. It just didn't feel as groundbreaking as Sly 2 did. Best character in the game? Murray, because he likes to eat. Almost as much as I do. And even though I see him as a rival, he was still a pretty cool dude. I think we have the same IQ too. Anyway, if you love stealth games with a ton of stuff to do, then the Sly HD collection is for you. Unintentional rhyme. And those were my personal favorite PS2 games that got ported over to the PS Vita. Would you all like to see a runners-up list in the future for this? Because there wasn't a ton of PS2 games that got ported over to the Vita, but there would be enough for another video or two. So please let me know down in the comments, along with what your favorite PS2 games to play on the PS Vita are. Or were, depending on whether you still do it or not. Maybe it is heresy. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Bushin Ryu Cat, Milk Sama, Neo Arashi, Shin Snake, Alan Iwazu, Reiko Star, Matt Fox, Frayden, Zacrito, B Mystery, Makis Blob, Robert Johnson, Chris Foxhound, Jamie, Crazy Cat, Aridri, Robert Sylvester, Hector Gonzalez, Kayonko, Burzin Mystery, Juan M. Hermosillo, Eric DeWitt, Tasha Monty, Mazgus, Matt Hargett, Dr. Super Artie, Ricardo Martinez, Donut Valley, Nintendo Switch at 2 AM, Azumara, 1488 Dental, Rizal Pliskin, Smug Wolf, David Ray, Wendy K, Hemdall Imbert, Gutter Drums, Skullshertugel TCG, Adam Thury, Per Sterner, Erock, JR, Kyle Brooks, Saul Ramirez, Rodrigo Vera, Aaron Swanson, Heston Joseph, Kevin Enright, Jared Haddo, VG Legends, Claimer Malarkey, BMF, Michael O'Connor, H-Hitter, Jelly, Joseph Shavak, Richard Cruz, PS Vita S, Adam Sondi, Phantom XRS, and Hero Acer. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much. So getting a download code with some of these physical releases was kind of a bummer, but it wasn't nearly as bad as Minecraft and MLB The Show 2015. If you're a PS Vita collector, you know exactly what I'm talking about here.